Welcome back. The Ghana Institute of Engineering will hold its 56th annual general meeting and conference in Ho in the Volta region from March 16th to 20th, 2026 under the theme Engineering the Food Security and Sustainable Agriculture Value Chain. In the lead up to the AGM, the institution is engaging the media to raise public awareness and showcase the vital role of engineering in promoting food security and sustainable agricultural development in Ghana. And joining me in the studio this afternoon, I have the Vice President of the group, Dr. Patrick Amoah-Bequain. I hope I got the name correctly. And then also I have Dr. Lucy Japon as well joining me in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, good to have you on the show. I want to begin with the lady because we always say ladies first. Let's talk about the theme.
Okay.
What brought about the theme for this year's event?
So I think over the past number of years, Ghana Institution of Engineering, we have tackled many issues. It's very from a wide range, from infrastructure to, sustainable, smart cities. But this year, we wanted to take something that was pertinent, something that was very important to Ghana, and something that was topical. So we wanted to go down the agricultural value chain. We know that agriculture plays a very significant role for our nation, yet somehow it feels like we've not tapped into its full potential. And there is a role for engineering to play when it comes to sustainable agriculture, not just looking at at the farm, but rather throughout the process, the infrastructure, the tools, the skills, knowledge to take it from the start, value addition, right to when it gets to the consumer. So for us, GHIU wanted this year for us to look at agriculture, looking at all the divisions we have in the institution, and then say, how can we effect the change that we truly want?
Dr. Bequain, I'm learning something new today. Yeah. Engineering and agriculture, I know that they work hand in hand, but what will someone take out of this when they attend this annual conference?
All right, thank you once again. And on behalf of the entire institution, we want to thank Joy FM and also Multimedia Group for the support you've been giving us. Indeed, at the end of the conference, we expect that the narrative in Ghana in terms of the agricultural value chain will change. And government, civil society, everybody will know the important role of engineers in the food that we get on our table. Most often than not, when we are talking about agriculture, people do not think about engineers.
Yeah.
But from the land preparation to the time food comes to your table, engineers play a very vital role. And that is why, as she rightly said, this year we are focusing on food and food security. Beyond that, we expect that the conference will bring together researchers, practitioners, those within academia, and also the general public will be there to discuss issues related to agriculture. So when you come to our conference, we are going to have a different opinion about engineering and the role of engineering practitioners in agriculture. Now, talking about that, it is important that you said engineers, but it is important that I emphasize that we are talking about the engineering value chain. So from the artisans, mechanization, from the technologists, the technicians, to professional engineers, they all play a very important role in the development of our nation and in ensuring that food comes to your table. So think about one. Who brings food to your home?
Yeah.
The road, and that's where the road engineer is very important. What about the equipment that are used for agriculture? That's where the engineering practitioners come in. Even when it comes to agro now, there are new technologies in agriculture. Engineers play a very vital role in ensuring that we use the right technology, smart agro-processing, the use of AI. Those are the roles that engineers play. And that is why we're encouraging all practitioners, engineering practitioners as a whole, to be there in whole to support our institution and to change the narrative, and also to support government, because
Right.
this is in relation to what government is actually doing in terms of government developmental agenda.
Not long ago, we heard that some Ghanaians were killed in Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
I want to believe that you all heard it
Yeah.
when they were going for tomato, trade in our neighboring country.
Yeah.
It resulted in a temporal tomato shortage. As engineers, how can engineering solutions help in food production, like tomato? How can we get them in abundance while protecting the environment? I want to come to you.
So I think the challenge when it comes to some seasonal crops is that they come at particular seasons, but there's so many technologies that exist today that can allow you to do it year round. In terms of infrastructure, in terms of innovative engineering solutions, they can vary irrigation systems, and that has always been the challenge when we come to Ghana. So
Right.
a lot of the times we have what we do all the time. And then we have, in peak seasons, we'll say we have even, more than enough. And then some even go to waste. We need to look at the whole system and say, what do we do or what solutions can we have so that it becomes a year-round production? So in terms of what we are talking about at the conference, there are 5 thematic areas, if you don't mind, that I'll highlight.
Briefly.
So we are looking at innovative engineering solution for food security, so cutting-edge technologies, including precision irrigation. We are things that are critical for that. Infrastructure for sustainable agricultural value chains, climate-smart agricultural system, sustainable financing and policy reforms, sustainable processes, materials and food systems, youth, gender, and inclusive agripreneurship, so that we need to have the fertile ground to be able to do what we need to do. And no one can say that Ghana, we don't have fertile ground. We do. However, it still lacks some infrastructure, some irrigation system here and there. And that is why some government agencies are also coming to this conference. We have the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority, who are coming to share some of the amazing work they are doing to be able to support initiatives such as that, to make sure that we become a self-sustaining nation.
And what policies and investments are needed to support engineers in delivering sustainable agricultural solutions, some of them that we've mentioned here?
So in terms of, if you look at the work that we do, the nature of the industry means we still have a lot of agripreneurs in the system. So we need the right infrastructure, the right support, both from government, private, to say, how do we invest in these people? How do we ensure that they have the tools that is needed, the state-of-the-art tools, the knowledge, the skills, and the capability to be able to develop so that it doesn't always end up being that small scale, which we have come to see. Engineer Patrick.
Yeah,
Right.
just want to add that, yes, like she rightly said, we need the right investment. But beyond investment, I think we need the right people on the table. That sometimes the ministries, especially Ministry of Agri, they are sitting in their silos. People are doing things. The researchers are doing things. The academics are doing things. And you go to different parts of this country, and you'll be surprised what is happening within the agri space. I mean, private individuals, but I think what we are providing is bringing all the actors together and see how we can synergize to produce more. So you talked about the tomato issue.
Yeah.
I believe that when all the actors, both engineers, policymakers, everyone comes to the table, we can solve the problem of tomatoes in this country. Yes, it requires investment. It requires also change in our mindsets, because Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana shouldn't be importing tomato from.
I mean, I keep telling myself, if Burkina Faso can do it, why can't
not?
we?
We are capable.
We have more fertile
We
land.
are capable. Ghanaians are capable, and I believe that with Ghana Institution of Engineering, the foremost engineering authority institution in this country, and with the support of government. And I believe the president has the goodwill for agriculture with all the things that they've done for the past 1 year. We believe that if we come together, we can support the government and we will be a net exporter. and
I hope so.
a net exporter.
I hope it comes to pass.
Because in a country where we import almost everything.
Yeah.
Including food.
And so when we are talking about exchange rate, we are talking about all those things, economic indicators, the basis for me is agriculture.
Right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Right. So from the 16th to the 20th,
Yeah.
who can be part of the conference?
So we're inviting everybody that has an interest in sustainable agriculture, food security. So on the Thursday, which is on the 16th, we have our young engineers doing a forum. I think that the invited guest is John Dumelo. We have our artisan craftsmen saying what can they do in the sector. We finish off with a bit of games, interdivisional competitions, mechanical versus electrical. That'll be fun. And then on the Tuesday is the opening ceremony, where we will be graced at the occasion by our Minister of Agric to give us a keynote address on what they are doing in the sector. We also have Togbe Afede, who is coming as our guest of honor. Our sector minister, the Minister of Works and Housing, will be there. And then we have a couple of technical industry presentations on that day. And then on the Wednesday, the women take over.
Right.
Women in engineering have a wine forum dedicated at looking at from soil to fork, what the role of women engineers within that. Then we move on into some more technical presentations. We have our annual general meeting as Ghana Institution of Engineering on the Thursday. Then on the Friday, field visits. Let's see what the Oxygen City Hall has to offer.
Right.
And after that, we will put out a communique on what the next step should be. So we'd like to invite everybody that's listening to us today, come join us in Ho. It's going to be fantastic.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lucy Agyapong. She's the chairperson for Program and Conference Committee with the Ghana Institution of Engineering, and Dr. Patrick Amoah is the Vice President of the Ghana Institution of Engineering as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you for having
We'll
us.
hopefully be at the conference from the 16th to the 20th.
We're expecting the media also.
Yes. Away from engineering, when was the last time you tasted kenke? Ever wondered what goes into its preparation? As Ghana celebrates its Heritage Month, we journey into the heart of Teshie to see how your favorite komi is prepared and served with hot pepper, a tradition that has endured for centuries. My colleague Na Moko takes us to Teshie Adoming, where the story of kenke is still being written one ball at a time.
From the street of Osu to the shores of Adan, kenke, locally known as komi, Otimi or Dokno, has been preserved for centuries. Developed by the Gadangme people, the delicacy goes beyond its roots. Today, it is enjoyed in Ghana, cutting across tribes and regions. But what really goes into its preparation? In Teshie Adoming, Yomo Amoko walks us through the preparation process.
To prepare kenke, you must first soak the maize for about 3 days. This allows it to ferment properly before it's milled into corn dough. After milling, the corn husk is carefully sorted out, ready for wrapping.
The main ingredient is maize. It is carefully sorted, soaked for days, milled and left to ferment to achieve a certain distinctive sour taste.
Once the milling is done, the dough is sieved to remove any unwanted particles. This process ensures a smooth texture before it's partially cooked.
Yomo tells me the fermented corn dough is partially cooked over heat, stirred vigorously for hours until it thickens into a smooth porridge. It is then mixed with fresh dough and mixed manually to achieve the right consistency before being molded into balls.
At this stage, you stir it steadily with a good quantity of salt, just like preparing banku. However, this particular mixture is known as a flatter. It requires patience and strength to stir it to the right consistency.
Each ball is then wrapped tightly in soaked corn husks and tacked to seal. For this batch, nearly 400 balls are packed into this large aluminum pot. At the base is extra wax that forms a protective layer to prevent overcooking. A measured quantity of water is then added. The pot is sealed tightly with sacks and polythene to trap in steam. For nearly 4 hours, it boils slowly.
When the aflata is well cooked, it is mixed thoroughly by hand to achieve that smooth, firm and slightly starchy texture that gives kenkey its unique body.
Once fully cooked, the kenkey is removed, salted and repackaged to retain warmth. But there's one more thing missing here: pepper, shito and fried fish.
Kenkey is best enjoyed with pepper and fish. The taste is so satisfying, and of course, you will need about 2 sachets of water to cool your heart.
As I prepare to taste my Ghana kenkey with its hot pepper and fried fish, Nijani joins me at the table with his testimony.
The reason I love kenkey so much is deeply personal. My mother was a kenkey seller. That was the food she disciplined us with. Because of her, I never developed a strong taste of fried rice or other fancy dishes. Kenkey became more than just food. That is why even today, I make it a point to eat kenkey before sleeping.
Indeed, kenkey is not just a delicacy for the Gadangwe people. Every morsel reminds us of the diversity of the Ghanaian culture, a history shaped by hands, kept by resilience, and wrapped in a corn hat. For Joy News, I am Na Moko, Teshin Adoeni.
This week, the world marks World Glaucoma Week, drawing attention to glaucoma, a silent but dangerous eye condition that is one of the leading causes of irreversible blindness worldwide. Here in Ghana, many people are living with the condition without even knowing it because, in most cases, the disease develops quietly with little or no warning signs until the damage is already severe. Today, on The Pulse, we focus on how early detection can help save your vision. What exactly is glaucoma? Who is at risk? And why are routine examinations of the eye so critical, especially for people over 40 or those with a family history of the condition? To help us unpack these questions, I've been joined in the studio by Dr. Na Kowa Ajamfra. She's an optometrist and the financial secretary of the Ghana Optometric Association, who will guide us through the early signs, prevention, and what Ghanaians should be doing to protect their eyesight. We've also been joined in the studio, and we'll be bringing you a deeply personal account from a man who lost his sight due to glaucoma, a powerful story that highlights just how devastating the disease can be when it goes undetected. And if you've never checked your eyesight before, or you've been postponing that visit to the clinic, this is definitely a conversation you do not want to miss. Dr. Ajamfra and Mr. Abidi, grateful for your time this afternoon. I want to begin with you, Dr. Ajamfra. Tell us a bit about glaucoma and who it can affect briefly, and then we speak to John as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Kenneth. Before I continue, I'd like to say hello to the members of Ghana Optometric Association, all ophthalmologists, all ophthalmic nurses in Ghana, because this year's theme is unifying to get a glaucoma-free world. And so all the cadres in the eye care space are working together to achieve this. Yes, so what is glaucoma? Glaucoma is one of the leading causes of irreversible blindness. Most of the time, it is asymptomatic, or it doesn't come with any symptoms, but the pressures in the eye, that is the intraocular pressure, rises high, and then it damages the optic nerve. The optic nerve is the nerve in the eye that transmits impulses, or whatever you see, transmits it to the brain for it to change into whatever message or whatever interaction you are seeing. And so it's the brain that connects the optic nerve connects the eye to the brain for things to be seen. So once the optic nerve is damaged, then you can't be seeing clearly. But glaucoma starts affecting the peripheral vision, and so that is why you won't see any symptoms. And so before you realize most of the peripheral vision is gone and you only have a tunnel vision.
Doc, I'll come back to you.
Okay.
But let me bring in John Paul Abidi, who sadly lost his vision due to glaucoma. John, when did you realize that your vision has started becoming blurry?
Okay, I detected it during, well, it was 2014. That time I was in school. I was having a course at, HND course at Ghana School of Surveying and Mapping at 37. So during the second year, first semester, I detected that my vision was blurring. So when we were on vacation, I went to a hospital at Akwetia, St. Dominic's. And that was the first time I was diagnosed of glaucoma. Then I started treatment there to date. Then sometimes, glaucoma to the medication and those stuff, it is time-consuming and money-intensive because you need to be going for regular checkups and those things. Yeah, so during that time, sometimes I defer the checkup, and times I'll go and leading to us. So the eye went off about 3 years ago.
How old were you when you first detected that you were having blurry vision?
Let me say 27, thereabout.
Wow. John, I'll come back to you again. Dr. Ajemfra, I asked of the age because we were usually told that when you advanced in age, that's when you start, showing symptoms of glaucoma. Because my grandmother, for instance, she was 96. She had glaucoma for a long time, and she went completely blind a year before she died. And so hearing that he had glaucoma in his mid-20s, that is a bit shocking, isn't it to you?
No, so it's not shocking to me because glaucoma runs in family. It is hereditary. And so that is why we keep saying that once there's a family history, you should get your eyes checked. You shouldn't wait till you develop symptoms before you check your eyes. Some people are born with it, so there's congenital glaucoma. Right from birth, babies can have it. So there's the importance that we keep creating the awareness for early detection. Babies can get glaucoma.
Wow.
Yes.
And I also read somewhere that glaucoma is prevalent in black people.
Yes, yes.
That's true, right?
Yes, it is. So Africa is the highest, the record shows that Africa has the highest prevalence of glaucoma. And Ghana is also leading, unfortunately, in that domain.
Wow.
At the moment, there are about 76 million people suffering from glaucoma worldwide. That is what the data from IAPB, that is International Agency for the Prevention of Blindness. Those are the statistics they have. And they are saying that by 2040, the number will be about 110 million. That is in just 14 years from now, the numbers will be skyrocketing. And so there's the need for us to create the awareness more and more, yes.
John, now that we know that glaucoma lives within families, do you have any family member who suffered glaucoma?
Strangely, no. None of my family members that I know of have glaucoma that I know. Yes.
And how has life been since you lost your vision completely?
It's been difficult, but thanks to my family, especially my mother and my siblings, they've been very supportive, very, very much supportive in terms of finances and other stuff, going to hospital, medication, and other stuff. Times I get discouraged, but they encourage me to go. So for my family, they have been very supportive. And some of the challenges about moving around, like you want to go somewhere, unless there's somebody around to help you, and sometimes you can't even have your privacy. Everything you want to do, someone should be there. But when you are home, for home, I'm a bit comfortable with the home because I'm used to, so I can move around. But when I'm going outside, yeah, it's difficult unless someone helps you around and before you can move.
Since you were diagnosed with glaucoma, has anybody else in your family been diagnosed with glaucoma, or has anybody else in your family bothered to check their eyesight to see that if they possibly could also have the glaucoma?
Yes, they've been going to check, but they've not diagnosed of glaucoma, other eye conditions, but not glaucoma specifically.
All right, John, I'll come back to you. He said he discovered that he had glaucoma when his vision started becoming blurry. Was that too late for him to have gone to the hospital?
Yes, it was. It was quite late, and probably he said that was in 2014. You would probably go to the hospital, you'd be told you'd go through a series of tests, but because there aren't any remarkable symptoms, compliance become a challenge. Yeah. The cost of medication is also expensive, and so then it becomes a reason why people will not comply with it. And so those are the real challenges most of our glaucoma patients face.
Is it treatable?
So glaucoma is treatable or managed, but it's not cured. It's not curable, no. And so early detection saves the sight. Once we detect, we can prevent it from progressing, but we can't revert to what you had previously.
Wow. John, have you had the chance to educate people on the need to have their eyesight checked?
Yeah, at church and my colleagues, when I meet them, when we are talking about some life issues, I do tell them that they should go, they should do well and go and check. Especially when someone complains of the eye, I'm sensitive to that. So immediately I hear any eye problem or someone complain of the eye, I say, you have to go and check. Because if you don't go and check, that's what led me to this situation. So anytime I had opportunity there, I educate people about it.
Doc, you're talking about the fact that it's manageable, but not curable. That's quite worrying to hear. And like I mentioned, I really understand it because somebody in my family also had it. But if you are on medication, if you find out very early and you're on medication, can it still get worse?
Yes, it still can, because it's not only one thing that leads to glaucoma. Once you are a black, you are at a higher risk. Once you reach 40 years and above, you are at risk. If you self-medicate, if you're putting a lot of steroids into your eyes, you are at risk. If you are a high myope, you are at risk. And so all these risk factors contribute to the progression of the disease. And so you can be on treatment, and the reviews will let us know whether we should add a combination, whether we should do other things and all that, because sometimes we would have to combine surgery and drops. Sometimes you can add 2 more drops or even 3 more drops, and so there is the need that once you are diagnosed, regular checkups, even when you are diagnosed, is important.
John, what would be your message to the world?
Well, my message to the world is they should not, they should go and check their eye. Everybody, if you have the access, even if you don't feel anything or any pain or you've not seen any symptoms on your eye, do well and go to the nearest hospital and go and check. And also, if you have a relative diagnosed of glaucoma, get closer to the person, and whatever support that you can give to the person, give to the person.
Right, thank you. Doc, I want to wrap up with you briefly. You've mentioned that it's asymptomatic, so you are likely to see anything at all if you're having the glaucoma until it gets worse.
Yes, but there are types of glaucoma.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yes, so the most popular one or the common one is the asymptomatic one. That is primary open-angle glaucoma. But then we have the emergency glaucoma, also known as angle closure glaucoma. That one presents with symptoms. And so with that, you can experience pain in the eye, you can experience blurry vision, you can even vomit, get nauseous and vomit. And so those are acute ones, and those ones you would quickly seek help. And then there's a third one known as the normal tension glaucoma. And so your pressures, the intraocular pressures in the eye can be high, but then again, the pressures can be normal, but then you still have glaucoma. So that's the normal tension glaucoma.
Dr. Na Kowa Ajamfra is an optometrist and the financial secretary at the Ghana Optometric Association. Thank you very much for passing by this afternoon. And John Paul Abidi is a glaucoma patient who unfortunately lost his eyesight due to that disease. And let's check our eyes. Kindly get your eyes checked, as you've heard from the doctor and the patient, that regular eye checks are very important, because you can get it, I can get it, just anyone can get it. So please get your eyesight checked regularly. Away from glaucoma, the Director of Presidential Initiatives in Agriculture and Agribusiness, Peter Buamo Tukono, says government has gathered enough evidence to prosecute members of the erstwhile administration over the alleged mismanagement of the Ghana Cocoa Board. Liquidity challenges at Cocoa Board became evident when the government failed to pay cocoa farmers on time last year, triggering a national...
1-4. So, honorable members, it's my duty to definitely do what is expected of me today, and that is to, on your behalf, swear in the person that the voters in the Ayawaso East constituency have decided to elect as their member of parliament. So, pursuant to Order 13, Rule 1 of the standing orders of this House, I shall now invite the honorable member-elect for Ayawaso East constituency to proceed to the Speaker's dais to take the oath of allegiance and the oath of a member of parliament.
Okay. Thank you.
Honorable members, he is one of the members we refer to here as I shall return. So he's used to the drill, and so you have to repeat after me. Insert your name where necessary, and let us together swear the oath of allegiance. I,
Baba Jamal Mohammed Ahmed,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
Do in the name of the Almighty God swear.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance.
To the Republic of Ghana as by law established.
To the Republic of Ghana as by law established.
That I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana.
That I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana.
And that I will preserve.
And that I will preserve.
Protect.
And
defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of Republic of Ghana.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You now have to swear the oath of a member of Parliament. I,
Baba Jamal Mohammed Ahmed,
having been elected a member of Parliament, do.
Having been elected a member of Parliament, do.
In the name of the Almighty God, swear.
In the name of the Almighty God, swear.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana.
As by law established.
As by law established.
That I will uphold.
That I will uphold.
Preserve.
Protect.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And that I will faithfully.
And that I will faithfully.
And conscientiously. Discharge the duties of a member of Parliament.
Discharge the duties of a member of Parliament.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you voluntarily offered yourself to serve the good people of the Ayawaso East constituency. In your campaign, you stated that you want to serve them as a member of Parliament, and by doing so, serve Ghana. You don't want to serve Ghana as a high commissioner in Nigeria. I took note of those statements, and I'm going to hold you as my son. He knows what I mean by saying that. It's not the word of the general son I've been using for all of you. This one is different. And he knows the import of that. I will hold you accountable to the good people of Ayawaso East constituency. Serving them, you must. And so I'll focus on you on this floor to see how you perform in serving them. If you don't, I can assure you I'll be there to campaign against you in the next election. To facilitate your work, we'll definitely have to give you the basic tools to work with. And the first is the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, which you just swore to preserve, to protect, and to defend. This is the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, 1992. We will add to you the standing orders of the Republic of Ghana. These are revised standing orders. effective 2nd January 2024. And so they are not the standing orders that you know, because you were here before. These are revised standing orders. Please kindly take note, read them, and make sure that you are going and abiding by these standing orders. The other documents will follow soon. But on behalf of the House, I want to congratulate you for winning the by-election. Your winning this by-election has also triggered urgent action in this House. And so we have in this House a proposed private members' bill, which is meant to amend the Criminal and Other Offences Act to include conduct and acts during by-elections, and also primaries of political parties. It's important I draw attention to this, because we need all of you to come together for us to do what we believe is right. And so I will congratulate you, because you followed what was the law. But we are now going to change that law and make sure that the sentiments and concerns that Ghanaians have raised become binding law on all of us. In the meantime, you are congratulated and you are welcome to this house. Thank you. Honorable members, let me acknowledge the presence of some of our visitors, because our doors are now widely open. Every sitting we receive so many visitors, and it's our practice to always acknowledge their presence. And so we have visitors from 3 institutions today. We have 64 of them coming from Dar es Salaam Islamic Basic School, which is located at Lejo Kuku. They are led by their English language teacher by name Mr. Kwame Debra Jan. Please, you are warmly welcome to Parliament, your Parliament, and luckily you witnessed one of the rarest occasions, swearing in of a member of Parliament after a by-election. So that is a fortune for you. Also take time to learn the other things that take place on a daily basis. And so on behalf of the House, I warmly welcome you. Please resume your seats. We also have 65 visitors from Harmony International School, Sogakope, and that is in the South Tong constituency. They are being led by the civic education officer by name Mr. Ernest Dejo. And as I said, there are 65 in number. You are also warmly welcome. And the same goes to you as I just communicated to your colleagues from the Dar es Salaam Islamic Basic School. So you may resume your seats. The last but not the least, we have 35 visitors from Deacon's Academy. Deacon's Academy is located in the Dobin-Kwabinya constituency. They are led here by their supervisor by name, Mr. So Philip Yao. You are also warmly welcome, and it's the same message to you, and so you may kindly resume your seat. There are many more, but I haven't received the list yet. As and when I receive the list, I'll let members know, those who are here, to observe proceedings of the House.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pulse. We're live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra. This afternoon, some government institutions shut down following ongoing strike by members of CLOCSAG, leaving clients stranded. We have more as the strike enters day 2 today with no end in sight. Former President John Kufuor calls for a major overhaul of public sector remunerations, arguing that low wages for government officials contribute significantly to corruption.
Situation, I've thought of corruption, and I identified 2 major sources of it. One is the poor remuneration system that our society somehow seems to fight shy in tackling. The pay system is really not.
And for our Ghana Man series, we're here to Teshi to understand how one of Ghana's most cherished traditional dishes, komi, is prepared and served.
So much is deeply personal. My mother was a kenkey seller. That was the food she disciplined us with. Because of her, I never developed a strong taste for fried rice or other fancy dishes. Kenkey became more than just food. That is why even today, I make it a point to eat kenkey before sleeping.
The latest of these and many other stories are coming up in the next 3 hours. Remember, the Pulse is brought to you by Defendril Cough Expectorant. Defendril, breathe easy, feel better. My name is Kenneth. Jesse, details shortly.